Here's the thing. The big threat to your success in the first 6 months isn't what you don't know. It's the places where your power is quietly leaking away. And these leaks aren't dramatic failures. They're subtle. Habits, old decisions, behaviors that don't match the responsibilities that you have now. But when left unchecked, that is when those power leaks start to drain your credibility, your confidence, and most importantly, your ability to influence outcomes. Drop by drop. Every executive that I work with has them. And the ones who succeed are the ones who learn to spot them and close them early. So what exactly is a power leak? A power leak is when you keep operating with behaviors, decisions, or dynamics that no longer fit or suit the position that you're in now. So maybe you were promoted or your scope has expanded, you've joined a new company. The expectations are different when you take on new responsibilities. But if you keep acting like your old role or wasting energy on things that don't serve your priorities in your new job, then your power is slipping. And the danger is that most people don't see it until suddenly you wake up one day and you realize that your presence feels diluted, your energy is drained, and your reputation isn't landing how you want it to. So I want to talk firstly about the origins. And there could be many, and today I just want to focus on 4. And these are the common ones that I see with my coaching clients and that we work on individually so that they take their power back. So as I share, I would love for you to notice which ones feel familiar, because that is where change starts. It's having the awareness of what we are doing so that we can change it. So the first origin is outdated identity decisions. So that shows up when you're operating like you did in your previous job or your previous role. The big thing I see is people staying stuck in the weeds instead of setting direction, thinking long term. So for example, you're running meetings as if they're project updates instead of framing the strategic conversation and getting to the point of what is important. You're managing tasks instead of outcome. And I'm not saying that these behaviors are wrong. There's a place and time for those, of course, but they just belong to the old version of you. And when you keep showing up like that, either micromanaging, being in all the details, then people are not going to elevate the view that they have of you. They keep you in the old box and they start to wonder, do you have what it takes to do the job? The second origin I see of power leaks is external expectations. And that's when you are bending to what you think others expect. So for example, this could show up by saying yes to everything that your boss asks because you don't want to disappoint. You accommodate every request from your team because you want to be liked or you want to show support. And you over-deliver for stakeholders because you feel you have to prove yourself. But at what cost? When you are trying to fulfill everybody else's expectations, then you water down your authority. You set unsustainable precedents and you signal that actually you don't have boundaries or your boundaries are negotiable. The third origin of power leaks is wanting to avoid discomfort. And I'm not sure who said it, but the phrase has been around a while. You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And when you avoid discomfort, that is when your power also starts slipping away. So for example, you know a team member isn't performing, but you don't address it. You know expectations with peers are unclear, but you let it ride. Or you know a tough conversation is overdue and you keep postponing it. And so every time that you step around and tiptoe around your discomfort, your power erodes quietly. And that's when others start to wonder, is she decisive? Can he handle the tough calls? And those impressions stick, and unfortunately they spread if they're repeated over and over. And the fourth power leak, and this I want to say is probably the most important one that I see with most of my coaching clients. And it's sneaky, but it is really important. The origin also of a power leak is focusing on what you cannot control. And we do this in coaching a lot. I question you, if you are getting sucked into some kind of drama, ask yourself, in this situation, what can I control? What is in my control and what isn't? Because if you're focusing on what you can't control, you are going to use up your energy on what your boss isn't doing, or how a peer is blocking your progress, or the politics that you just can't shift. So it is normal to, work is also a people game. Okay, so the people dynamics are super important. And I'm not saying they're not, but be very, very vigilant about focusing on what you can control in those people dynamics and what you can't, because that is how you give your power away. When you are focusing on what your colleague is saying, when you are focusing on the fact that you see a colleague in the conference room with somebody else and you think they're talking about you, that is totally wasted energy. Your influence will grow when you focus on your lane, your priorities, your results, what you can impact. Do not focus on what somebody else is doing or isn't doing, what they said or what they didn't say. Redirect your energy on what you can control. And this is really, really important. So I want to talk a little bit about why it matters and what you can do about it. When you take on a new position, those first 6 months are super important. You are being judged. If you have taken on a new role in a new company, also, there's probably some kind of probationary period. So everyone is judging. Everyone is watching how you show up, how you decide, how you prioritize, how you manage your responsibilities. And if you let those power leaks go unchecked, you're not just it's not just an energy suck for you, but you're also losing credibility, losing traction, and that compounds over time. Because those early impressions that people have of you, that becomes your professional brand and your reputation. But when you plug those leaks, everything will shift. I promise you. You show up clear-headed. You stop second guessing. People take you seriously. Your voice carries weight in the room. That is when your impact increases. So this is what I would like you to take forth today. Awareness is power. That is the key, is being aware of where you are giving your power away, where it is leaking. So once you see it, you can close it. And closing it doesn't mean fixing everything at once. It means making one clean, conscious, decisive decision at a time. And each time you close a leak, you restore your energy, your credibility, and your momentum. For me, that awareness is a line in the sand moment. You are saying, I'm not here to operate as my old self. I'm not here to keep everyone comfortable. I'm here to take responsibility and do the job that I was hired to do. I am not here to get sucked in to everyone else's drama. And every time you do that the awareness is there and you make a conscious decision to shift, then your authority and your influence expand. So let me leave you with this reflection. I want you to think about what you're going to take away by focusing and thinking about one action that you will do this week to close a power leak. Just one, not all four, just one action. And that is how you move from awareness to impact. And if all of this is new, because it could also be a completely new topic to you, then I would suggest even taking one step back even further and just noticing. Be curious about where you are giving your power away. Just be aware of when those different attitudes or behaviors are showing up, because we can't change it until we have the awareness. So plugging those power leaks, it's not about perfection. It's about awareness and choice. Every time you close a leak, you reclaim a piece of your authority. You're going to walk into the room taller. Your words are going to carry more weight, and you'll start to feel really aligned with your job. Before we close, I want to share something special coming up that ties directly to today's conversation about plugging your power leaks and strengthening your influence. One of the fastest ways to build influence and increase impact is by shaping conversations and shaping budget conversations. This is Q4. And so I want to tell you very briefly about an event that I have put together that I would love to invite you to. It is my Q4 lunchtime lab, Influence the 2026 Budget and Secure Your Initiatives. It is happening the week of October 20th. There is going to be 3 focus sessions on Zoom, 45 minutes, so very short, sweet, and action-oriented. I'm going to walk you step by step through how to build a CFO-ready case, how to pre-wire support for your initiative or whatever your budget ask is. We're going to do that in Q4. And I'm also going to help you manage the budget discussion. Open powerfully, handle objections, close with some kind of approval. It's not theory. These 3 days are going to be very practical, and it is going to give you what you need to influence 2026 budget. It is the week of October 20th. I'm going to put the link in the show notes for more information. I would love to see you there. So if today's episode challenged your thinking, please share it with a colleague. And remember, the arena is yours. Step in, plug the leaks, and make it count.